So today I thought we'd do something a little bit different, and I would actually do some live shop critiques for you, and you could follow along and maybe learn something about how to improve your shop from watching these critiques. Also, if you do enjoy this and you find it helpful and you would like to be considered for a future critique video, leave a link to your Etsy shop or your website below in the comments. Only leave a link there if you're happy for me to critique your shop, as I'm going to do in today's video. And if you do put yourself down, make sure to subscribe to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, click that notification bell so you don't miss a future video where I might be critiquing your shop. Now, just as an aside before we start as well, if you would like a more private critique from me, that is an option. There's two ways you can do that. Number one, you can join the Thriver Circle, my membership community, where I help you grow your handmade business faster. And in there, I do live critiques and business intensives for members every month. So you just have to be a member for 2 or more months before you can apply for a half an hour live critique with me one-on-one. There might be other members there participating in the call, but you get me to yourself for half an hour and I go through your shop with you and give you my feedback. So that is the first way. The second way is to actually purchase a shop scrutiny from me. I offer 2 levels, a micro critique and a full critique, and you can find out more about that. In the description below will be a link to the page where I tell you all about what you get as part of your critiques and the cost of that as well. Okay, so the shops I'm critiquing today are actually from members of the Thriver Circle. You can find out more about that at thrivercircle.com. I will leave a link to that in the description below. I'd love to welcome you. And in January 2023, we have an exciting program called the Handmade Biz Bootcamp coming up. It's a 3-week program that will help you to start the year strong and get your handmade business up and running. So make sure to become a member so you don't miss that. It is available exclusively to members of the circle for no additional cost other than the monthly subscription fee, which is very affordable. I just want to say thank you to the members of the circle who volunteered to be guinea pigs for this first critique video. It's very brave of them to put themselves out there like this. So let's get into this critique video. Okay, so our first critique is of Simply Stamped Jewelry by Amber. And I haven't looked at any of these previous to jumping on today, so you're going to get my first reactions to this. First of all, we can see that Amber has an upgrade to Etsy because she has a banner here, a rotating banner. So this is great because it allows you to tell people a little bit more about yourself. You've got our logo and information, some images here. So this first banner immediately tells us what this shop is all about. It's pretty straightforward. It's simple stamped jewelry, everyday jewelry that inspires. Then on the second one, we've got more imagery and we've got links to her social media, which is fantastic. A way to contact people outside and communicate with them outside of Etsy. And then the final image here is just a cute little image of stuff in production, showing her tools and making it obvious that she is the one making this stuff and stamping this stuff. We've got a picture of Amber over here. Lovely. I love seeing a picture of someone's face on their Etsy shop. By the way, these are all Etsy shops that people have given me links to. However, if you don't have an Etsy shop and you're watching this, hopefully you'll still find it useful, and you are still very welcome to submit your shop for a critique below. It doesn't have to be an Etsy shop. It can be a Shopify shop, your own standalone shop, doesn't matter. We've got a lovely logo here. She's got a beautiful, simple logo, the little heart there, and they're made out of 2 S's. How good is that? Simply stamped. I only just realized that. So we've got the announcement up here, simple jewelry that inspires, her tagline here, or shop title, I believe it's called in Etsy, handmade inspirational necklaces and rings. So far we can see Amber's doing the right things. She has got a beautiful banner. She's got a beautiful logo, a picture of herself to show customers who she is. And she's got some keywords happening here. So obviously, handmade inspirational necklaces and rings. We know what we're in for. People searching know what they're in for. And then again, we've got that information repeated here. So now let's go look at the rest of the shop. Okay, so we've got some featured items. Again, this comes with the Etsy upgrade, the ability to have these bigger featured items. And I don't know if you've noticed this lately, where when you hover over a picture there on Etsy and somebody has a video, it actually auto plays the video now. So if you do have a video, then that's a great thing to add. So you'll be able to tell which listings have a video by just hovering over the top of them. And it looks like Amber's got quite a lot of videos going on here, and they're all really nice too. They're well lit. They show their product off, and you see how they don't have to be complicated. They're just literally her showing the product in use or being worn, which is fantastic. And let's just have a quick look through the rest of these products. Fantastic. Now you'll notice my currencies in Australian dollars here. What we could tell from up here is that Amber is in Connecticut in the United States, and the current exchange rate is something like 60 cents to the dollar. So these prices are actually quite affordable, I would say. I think, this ring here that's 40 Australian dollars is probably only around the 20 US dollar mark. In fact, let's check that. On Etsy, you can scroll to the bottom and you can change right down here your currency. So let's change it to United States dollars, because that way I can give a better opinion on pricing because it's in the original currency. Yep, okay, so here we go. Yeah, those rings are about $24, $24, etc., etc. Okay, so as a jeweler myself, I know that the fact if she's stamping these herself, she's probably, I'm not sure if she's making these rings or just stamping these rings. She might have them on a mandrel and be stamping them on the mandrel. I'd have to do a little bit more investigation to find that out. But if she is making these rings herself, Amber, your prices are definitely too low. I mean, if you're buying the rings in bulk and then just stamping them, then that's more understandable. But yeah, definitely price is too low for that amount of work, because I know how hard it is and how much time it takes to make a good sterling silver ring. That being said, your photographs are beautiful. So we've got a really nice, well-lit, clean, clear aesthetic here. Okay, so everything works beautifully together. It has that sort of light colored, that's minimalist aesthetic in the photographs of her shop. I actually quite like the photos on the hands as well. You don't see that a lot. You do see it in like secondary photos, but I think with these sorts of rings in particular, like I am worthy, I am strong, like it's showing it on a person, which I think has a nice resonance to it as well. There's a little bit of variation in the color balance, so that the skin color is not exactly the same in every single photo, but it's pretty close. So, overall, I would say that you're doing a really good job of that. Now, these ones, I would definitely zoom in more on your initial thumbnail. This is way too far. I can barely even tell what that is on this picture. I would go right in, bring it so much closer, because what matters in this instance is the picture, the little stamp, right? You want to make the little stamp much more visible. You can have it from further back in the listing itself. So let's just click through to this one, for example. So when you're seeing it this size, I'm seeing this on a big monitor, I can see what it is. But imagine someone looking on their phone at this little tiny cute stamp. You want to make it much bigger in the frame than it is, okay? In a secondary photo, you can show the chain and show more detail. Let's have a just quick look through there. Okay, so she's showing scale here, which is really great. Showing how it sits on a person or would sit on a person. Again, showing scale. Now, this is a tricksy one. That looks like some sort of coin. It's a bit blown out though, so I can't see what the coin is. If you are showing scale, just remember, people in other countries don't know what size your coins are. Okay, so using a coin, if you're selling internationally, using a coin is not a great choice for scale, because someone outside of your country has zero idea how big that coin is. However, you've done a great job. Just that is enough really to show scale, because you're showing it against a hand. And again, you're showing it on a person. That's enough to show the scale of the product. You can put the measurement in the description if you want. You could always, photograph it next to a ruler if you want to show really good scale. And if there's something that really needs to be shown, like if you're selling something that's really tiny and the photos will give a really, weird idea about the size, then definitely consider showing a ruler. But yeah, it's not really necessary as long as you've done a good job. Now, I do like how she's got these additional photos here showing her packaging and a little bit more information here. This is clever, okay? Having this picture here with her website, okay? So you can go find out more about her business on her website, telling you a little bit about, what this business is all about. And then let's have a quick look at a description. Okay, so we've got a description here telling you exactly what the item is. Same with the title, Mama Bear Necklace. Okay, so this I would work on. One thing you need to realize is on Etsy particularly, you don't need to repeat words. You only need a word once, really, for it to show up. You could spend a lot of this space with better keywords or getting more or different keywords in there than repeating necklace all the time. Like Mama Bear Necklace, you could have that. And then you could have like dainty, real rose gold, hand stamped, by your business name if you wanted to, or just hand stamped. And there's a lot more you could put there. Like, would there be like minimalist, contemporary design, gift for mum, something like that. Like all of that could be in that title, rather than repeating yourself, because it's not necessary to do that and you're wasting that space. So overall, I think, Amber, you're doing a really lovely job here. See, this is great to see. Photo of her making, showing the process. It looks like she is actually making those rings. Amber, put up your prices. You can't be making a profit selling those rings if you're making them and stamping them for that amount of money. Okay, I really want you to value your work. So this is really nice. I love the process, showing the process, and then a little bit more information about her, telling about what it's all about. There's a charity jewelry section. Yep. Fantastic. All right. I'm not going to go into policies and that, because that would make this video ridiculously long. I just want to kind of give an overall critique, but yeah, I think, Amber, you're doing a really good job. Congratulations. Your shop looks beautiful. The only things I would say straight off the back would be work on those titles. Make sure that you're not repeating yourself in your titles. And you don't need to repeat phrases in tags either, everybody. Or, if you're on Etsy, don't reuse a word in your tags over and over again, because Etsy, the algorithm's smart enough. If you've got the word there, it will pair it together with any other word you have in your tags, okay? So make sure to spread your tags across as many possible searches that you can. Also, I love the sections here. So she's got sections so you can kind of immediately science geeky necklaces. I have to go with that one. Yeah, serotonin. So you can immediately go to what you're interested in there, which is fantastic. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so here we have So Obsessed by Shelley. So Obsessed Australia. Children outfit, hair and baby accessories and handbags. I'd probably put an S on that, children's, just because children sounds a bit weird just to read. I know what you're trying to do there, but put an S. It doesn't matter. Etsy will read children or children's exactly the same, so it's fine. We've got a logo here. She's in Victoria. There's a picture, lovely to see. We've got a great banner here. We've got her business name, again, her website here. I don't think even I've done that on mine. Probably something I should do. And then we've got some pictures here of her products. So one thing that comes to mind immediately here is these pictures look a little bit blurry. That might just be an artifact of the fact they've been pictures put on another picture and then exported. So sometimes that sort of multiple process can make things a bit messy. And also, if you're not exporting your banner for Etsy at a big enough size, or you're not making it at a big enough resolution, sometimes this can happen. I actually have a video about that. I'll put a link to it up here wherever that bar goes. I've actually got two. I've got one about how to make your banner for Etsy, and I've got another one showing you how to upload your banner to Etsy. I'll put the making one up here though, so you can check that out. And then it's the cute little sewing needle there. Your logo is a little bit difficult because there's a lot going on there. Like, that's more than I would generally like to see on a logo. I can't read that smaller text, and at a larger size that might work, but I would probably suggest you minimize that down a little bit and blow your name up and make sure that the name on your logo is really visible. Okay, so then we've got sections here with our different items in, which is fantastic. Now remember, sections are a really important part of external search engine optimization. So all of these sections will show up on Google or any other search engine as a separate page. So again, it's more opportunity to get found when people are searching for these things. We've now featured items. We've got one featured item, but we're missing the rest. So this is where you have to be careful with your featured items. If you're using the featured items stars, if you're actually utilizing that, be on top of it and make sure that you've always got this filled up. Otherwise it looks weird like this. It looks like what's going on, like your shop is empty. So either don't use them and just let your first items be at the top, or keep on top of them and make sure that all your featured items are always visible, okay? Because that keeps it looking neat and tidy and keeps your shop looking full. Okay, so we can see here we have got a range of sewed items, scrunchies, the classic. We've got some bags. We've got, reusable paper towel. That's cool. Unpaper towel. We've got some bandanas. They're dog bandanas. A tutu outfit. And a shopping trolley handle cover. Oh, that's interesting. That's not something I've ever seen before. It's not something I would ever think of either, but I can see how, it's something, because the kids hold on to it, like the baby's sitting in the pram might hold on to it, or you might hold onto it, I guess, for COVID reasons or whatever. I'm not sure that's something I don't have kids, but let me know if that's something that you would ever consider using. So we have a range of different sewn items here. So Obsessed is appropriate as a name, because obviously it's all about the sewn items. Children's outfit, hair and baby accessories, and handbags. You've also got some dog stuff going on here. So there's not a lot of products available in your shop, but there's a lot of different things going on here. And I think that might get a little bit confusing to people at times. This is really cute, actually. I love that fabric. You've got handbags. So you don't have potentially just one target customer here. You've kind of got a few different ones. You've got mothers or parents, okay, because obviously they're the ones who are shopping for their children, or grandparents, or aunts, uncles, whatever. So I guess in that way you could say that the baby stuff, the children's stuff, and the bags could all be for that person, just for themselves or for their daughter or child. And then the dog bandana stuff, I guess, could kind of technically go with that, but that does throw me a little bit, thinking, that's not what I thought they were going to be like for children, because everything else is for children, so I assumed they would be for children as well. Photos, so I can see where you're going with your photos here, but they definitely do need some work. You've got to be careful with using a textured background if you've got textured products, okay? So for example, this wooden textured background here, what you can see is, because it's panels, well, there's two things. One, because it's panels, see how they're all over the place, like the angle, and that's quite jarring to look at. It's like a lot of different lines in different directions coming at you. Some people might be more sensitive to that than others. And also the pattern on the background doesn't necessarily complement the pattern on the item. When you're using very bright, very complex patterns like you are in these items, I strongly recommend you use a very plain background, like a very plain background with no texture, no lines. So, going for more of this sort of the wall, the white or cream wall behind the items will be better because it will allow the products to stand out more. With these items as well. So this one's pretty good actually. Like it's well lit. I would say it needs a bit of editing because the background looks a little bit flat and dull. So just by bringing up the highlights a bit in this one, you would probably bring that up and make it pop a little bit more. This one again is pretty well lit. There are some like this one, so you can see that the shadows, that is not what we're looking for. We want to try to get rid of that by lighting the item from multiple directions. So like these ones are much better. You can see there's some shadow, but it's a little bit less obvious. This one, there's a little bit of a shadow here. It looks like from the actual hand taking the photo. So just work on filling the light in and using those plain backgrounds. Also make sure that your products aren't chopped off. See how this is like chopped off on the corner? This is chopped off on the bottom here. You do need your products to be as big in the frame as possible, but try not to chop them off at the corners because it's not a good look for the product. You want to show the viewer the whole product in that photo. So like this sort of thing is great where it's filling up the picture, but it's this one, see how it's chopped off at the top? This one's even chopped off at the side. So this is happening because you're taking photos too close, and then when you're editing them, you're probably cropping them and then they won't fit. So you want to make sure when you're taking your product photos, you do take them far enough back that you can crop them and still show the entire product in the photo. Okay, so work on those things, Shelley, and that will vastly improve. So that plain background, fill in that light, make sure to edit your photos, make sure the products aren't chopped off on the side, make sure to edit your photos so that they do pop a little bit more, and try to get that white balance the same so that all of those backgrounds look the same. You've got lovely here to see behind the scenes. You've even got a video here. I love that. That's awesome. I love these like showing your process behind the scenes type videos. That's really great. And then, yeah, more behind the scenes, showing that you're really making this, right? And then this is always fun to see it in somebody's basket. And then a little bit of information about you. Let's just have a quick look at your titles. Again, using scrunchie twice, not necessary. I've totally done this myself back in the day, but you don't need to do redundant words. Once is enough. That's good. You've got blue glitter unicorn scrunchie, which is all you would have to put. Gift for girl, hair accessory, again, gift, a birthday gift, gift for girl, handmade. Yeah, hair accessory, hair tie, any of those sort of words in there. And then a little bit more information. Just off the top of my head, when I see short descriptions, generally speaking, I feel like they probably need more information, but we'll talk about that another time. So thank you, Shelley, for volunteering yourself for a little critique today. Okay, the third and final critique I'm going to do today is for Esther, Coast Road Quilting Co. in the lovely Christchurch, New Zealand, beautiful part of the world. So we've got a lovely logo here. So I love this tree because it shows, if you're at all familiar with being by the coast, especially a very windy coast, that's what this is showing, a tree that has been shaped by the wind. So it gives that sense of movement, sense of being by the sea and in a windy part of the world. We don't have a banner, which is fine. You don't need to have a banner. I would recommend you do. It's just a nice thing to see. But again, not having one allows people to immediately see your products. And of course, on mobile, it's not often visible anyway. We've got Christmas cutoff dates here. Now I'm recording this on the 10th of November. So good job, Esther, already having those Christmas cutoff dates up there. That's another great thing to put on. You can put on your banner if you have one, is those cutoff dates for shipping. And then you've got more information here about your business. Your textile art for everyday living. That's great. So it's telling people what it's all about. And your products, I have to say, especially these first 4 here, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. Like these artworks made of quilting. Like how cool is that? That is so unique. And then as we scroll down, we see like more traditional quilted items like quilts, obviously, quilted coats, quilted bags, more wall art, wall hangings, and then smaller items. We've got cushions, we've got coasters here. Fantastic. Okay, so you've got a small product range, but I have to say, yeah, I'm loving the originality here of these pieces. It's something that I've not seen before and definitely kind of grabs my attention. Like this one, I'm like, I want to click through and see what this is. Now, again, we've made a mistake in this particular listing because the way you've taken the photo, it's had to actually cut off part of the product. Same with this one, it's had to cut off part of the product. We don't want to be doing that. And here, and here. Okay, so if one thing I could say that would immediately improve your photos, go a bit further back when you take your photos so that you don't have to cut off parts of the product photo. Now, what happens oftentimes, like with this one, is you take a photo and you edit it and you think square, like the thumbnail has to be square. But on Etsy, thumbnails are not square, they're actually landscape. So they're 4:3, I think is the ratio. So you need to make sure that when you are taking these photos and cropping them, that they will actually fit into that ratio. I mean, that one might even fit, I'm not sure. So that is something to take into account when you are doing the initial photography again. These photos on the walls, again, you know, there's a little bit of shadowing. Like this one's pretty good. It's like really well lit. There's not really any obvious shadowing. I can see though, from the sort of the color of your plants, that you've had to kind of blow out the exposure on this picture in order to bring that up because it was probably a bit dark to start with. So that is probably just an indication, and just looking at your other pictures, that put some more light in there. Like it looks like this one particularly, you know, it looks like a lot of natural lighting happening, like maybe from a window, which is fantastic and looks beautiful because it's natural light. But it's better to get more light on the subject so that you get rid of these shadows and you get that nice bright, and you don't get, like, you can't see what I'm pointing at, can you, everybody? I'm just pointing at the screen. So this one here, I'll use my actual mouse. You can see it looks like it's lit from a window from the side because you've got more light on this side, a bit more darkness on this side. And look, that can work. There are shops that actually just do that. They use that aesthetic. Let me see if I'll just look up this one shop that I always use as an example of this that works. I think that's the name of it. It's been around forever. So Lara Mayloom, she kind of uses that shadow to her advantage in her photography. Like it's her style is to use this sort of side-on lighting and have this deliberate shadow off to the side of her pictures. And her pictures have changed a little bit since I originally sort of came across her like 10 years ago or whenever. I think it was even longer than that actually. But you can see that that's kind of the style that she's going for, and it's the same. See how it is? And the shadow might vary as to the side, but her photos are very minimalistic. And that, yeah, these ones are more what I remember, like on the wall like this. They're all in that exact same sort of, they have that vibe to them. And I think with fashion as well, you can get away with stuff a little bit more that you can't necessarily get away with other things. So long story short, try to get some more lighting on there. Don't cut the images off. But yeah, your products are great. They're unique. They're minimalist. I love the styling of them. Let's have a quick look at your titles. Oh, wait, let's just look here. Sorry for people who don't have a super fast brain. Whenever I'm doing stuff and Nick's watching me on the computer, he's like, you're going too fast. I can't keep up. So apologies if I'm clicking around too erratically for people. We can see bright, bold mid-century, modern quilted art, colourful geometric wall art, abstract, linen quilt coat. I mean, just off the top of my head, those look pretty good. Colourful geometric wall art, abstract minimalistic textile art, retro art. Again, people, we're using the same word over and over again. We don't need to do that. You could just put colourful geometric wall art, abstract, comma, minimalist, comma, retro, comma. You don't need to keep saying, I'd actually probably put colourful geometric textile wall art and then quilted, etc. So you don't need to keep repeating that word as in you're making tags every time. Just use it the once and then use the space for other things. Same with the tags. So Here we go. Now this is a trick. If you've made it this far through the video, you're still watching, you're an Etsy seller. You need to know this if you don't already. You go to the bottom of someone's listing on desktop. See here? These are the tags for that listing. All right. That's what the related searches are. So you can actually spy on other people and see what tags they're using without having to use like Sales Samurai or eRank or any of those sorts of things. You can just look here and go, oh, look, these are the tags. Okay. So you don't, again, with these tags, you don't need to repeat the same word over and over again. The art, you could just say textile and quilt in one thing. So textile quilt could be, or quilt textile could be a tag. Etsy will, sure, it'll read that as a keyword, but it will also pull those apart and mix them up with all your other words that you've put in your titles, tags, descriptions, and it will put you in searches for that. Okay, oh, I didn't look at, going back, the secondary pictures. That's nice. See, I like these style pictures, are really nice. Again, showing scale. This last one. See, that's good. See, I thought they were way bigger than that. Like, way bigger than that. In this photo, you have no idea. Whereas that shows you, oh, they're actually quite small. And I'm sure you have that in your description. Yeah, here, look, here's the size. But remember, people don't read. So make sure to have those scale photos in your shop, which is great. I love your designs. I actually want some of these. It's kind of my vibe, some of these designs. So that's a personal preference, but I would be someone who would look at your stuff and go, oh yeah, I really like that. Like these cushions. I really like those. Now my question is, which one am I getting? I'm getting that one. Let's find out here. This minimalist Aztec style quilted cushion cover. Okay, so while I love this picture, I'm now sad because I only can buy that one. Okay, so I would probably switch this around and I would make this your main image, and then I would make this a secondary image, because what you do not want is somebody coming along who's, let's be honest, a bit of an idiot. And we've all been that idiot. I've been that idiot. Okay, I've bought stuff back in the day, in the beginning, when I wasn't au fait with online shopping, and I've gone, oh, that's not what I was expecting. So never put what is not for sale in that first picture. Always put what is for sale in that first picture. And you can use this as an additional picture to show off your range, which you should, because it's awesome stuff. Okay, so I would change that as well. Yeah, so like I said, and you can see here, everybody, there are the same themes running through this. People are doing the right things right, and people are doing the wrong things consistently, because we all make the same mistakes. It's universal. We all go through these developmental processes and learn these lessons. And I made all of these mistakes and still make some of these mistakes, I'm sure, to this very day. Nobody is perfect, but we can all work on improving, right? So overall, I think it looks quite lovely. But yeah, don't chop off the edges of products on your photos. Work on that lighting. And let's have a quick look down here. We've got some lovely reviews, which is fantastic. These are really cool. I like those a lot. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's a pattern. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Are any of these patterns? See, it's so much cheaper. Now, my brain did not even twig on that was a pattern. Now, obviously, now I'm looking at the prices. It's pretty obvious. Because it's $10 as opposed to $133. By the way, I'm pleased to see you have decent prices on your items, so well done for that. I'm proud of you for that. That's excellent. Yeah, okay, so is that the only pattern? I think so, by the look of it. Oh no, that one's definitely a pattern as well. Yep, okay, so quilt pattern. All right, so Esther, these patterns, I want you to put pattern right at the beginning of the title so it shows up here. Again, I'm pointing. Use my mouse. So it shows up here, okay? And also, frankly, because you are selling the items as well, I would put text on that image that says pattern, at least. Because, again, remember, we're all idiots sometimes. We want to make it as clear as possible that this is not what they're buying. They are not buying this beautiful thing here. They are buying a pattern of it and how to make it. I know it says it here. Okay, I know that. But when people are looking in the shop, They're like, oh, that's only $10. Why is that so cheap? How can I get that? And then they'll just go buy it without potentially looking into it. And then you have an upset customer. So make it obvious if you're selling items in your shop, fully finished items and patterns of how to make those items. Make it super duper obvious that they are separate things. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to say on that one today. Well done, Esther. I think you're on something really good here, and I wish you all the best. And that goes for all of you today who have been so lovely as to allow me to pull apart your shop for public consumption. And, you know, we're all in the same boat. You know, we've all been through this. We all have to learn the same lessons. And, you know, one thing I always say to my students when they're like, oh, you know, I don't know, photos, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, go look at my shop when I first started. In fact, you know what? I'm going to show you all that right now because I think it's worth the lesson. Help if I could spell my own shop name. To be fair, I'm typing around my microphone, which is making it very awkward. Okay, here we are in my Etsy shop. You can see I've got my Christmas cutoff dates up here. My banner actually changes throughout the year depending on what's happening, so I update it regularly, switch it around. But what I wanted to show you is this. So these are my sold items. And we're going to go back and we're going to look at my very first sold items. Okay, these are some of my first sold items. Look, I'm doing it all wrong. I have my stuff cut off. I have terrible flash photography. I have blurry photos even. Let's look at the next page. Okay, I'd started to learn some lessons by the time I got to these ones, but down here, oh boy, nope. You know, same thing, cut off, cut off, cut off, cut off, cut off. Terrible backgrounds, too much going on, not great lighting here. Again, not great lighting here. Yes, I was selling this, not this, but I should not have had that in the photo because who knows what I'm selling, right? Totally blown out picture here, cut off picture here, cut up, like that's how I started. All right. And we all learn and we all improve. So this was in 2008. These items, when I very first started, you can see how different the things are that I was making. And look at my titles. Holy moly. Gypsy blue necklace, purple apricot earrings, silver waves earrings. They're just truly terrible. They really, really are. So here are the photos. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm literally taking this photo by holding the camera out in front of me to take the photo. So they're awful. Look at that. Oh my God. How did I ever sell this? I don't know. I can only think that it was because it was 2008 and there was very little competition and nobody knew better back then. But, you know, it was awful. I had a little bit of something going on here, but not a great deal. And yeah, so, hey, if I'm critiquing myself back then, I'm making all of those mistakes and worse. So we all evolve and we all can get better given time and practice and feedback. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found that one useful and educational and possibly entertaining. I don't know. If you enjoyed it, tell me you like this. Tell me you'd like me to do more of these videos. And of course, if you'd like to be another guinea pig and feature in a future critique video, leave a link to your shop below. Make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss my future videos to see if you have been picked for an upcoming critique video. Now, just in case you haven't seen it, make sure to go have a look at this video next. It is one that I had a bit of fun with. It's 15 ways that you can fail at having a handmade business. Basically, it's all the things that you shouldn't be doing. So go check that one out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again soon with another video. I'm Jess. Bye for now.